Okay, so as I've said in the last 9 years, police don't do their job, so I can go to the Law Enforcement Conduct Commission because I've asked them several times to arrest Stephanie DeSalis. Now, police have come back with me and said, oh, but you know her. Who cares? I meet people on a daily basis that you could say I know. This started since I was lied about in 2015. Yes, I did play a prank on people. I've admitted it. Sorry, from 2016 to 2018, sure, I pretended that I was mentally retarded. Well, it started out me trying to pretend that I was a drug user. That's how it started. Because the lies in 2015 started about me, so I was being a smartass back to organisations that surveillance me. That got twisted around to I was mentally retarded, so who cares? I don't. I've turned around and said it's bullshit, lies. As for my assets and belongings, yeah, you're going to reimburse it. Because in America, I owned my own condo outright that was mine from the money that I had for years. For an example, I've made comments where I've said, okay, in 2007, before I was mugged, I was purchasing another property. And I owned another property, 16 Scott Road, and I was purchasing 52 Lantana Road, Umina Beach. That's the contract of sale. I went through. Now I got my deposit back. As you can see, the deposit that was left there was $28,000. I got the deposit back because I was mugged November 30th, 2007. So I ended up having to, unfortunately, say, look, I've been mugged after work and I'm just off work at the moment, so I can't continue with purchasing this property because I had, it was 2 mortgages I had. So, but I did get it back. There we go. There is this contract of sale. The contact person you're going to see in a lot of my dealings when I've brought property is my mother, and that's because my mother was a paralegal, so as to get the conveyancing fees cheaper. That's why. So contact person is Carol Purdy because Carol Purdy did the conveyancing for me. My mother. There we go. Now, let me tell you about Stephanie DeSalis, a scam artist that needs to be arrested because she stalks me on social media. Actually, looking at what I had, and I've always had a lot of money. Why have I had a lot of money? Because I've worked hard for it. So you can start paying me damages of 9 years and my savings. So yes, when I sold my condo in the US, go have a look how much I sold the condo for. So just over 70, was about 70, I think about 75,000 I got out of all the fees and so forth. That was left over 75,000 American in my bank, but I had other savings in my bank account, which is why I said, look, I had 80,000 American that your lies. You've let Stephanie DeSalis do this for actually, I always say 9 years, but how do we know she ever stopped stalking me? I met her at a coffee shop. She's a junkie. Stephanie DeSalis is a junkie. A junkie. Okay? She's a junkie. That I got a coffee one day and this junkie person was next to me. Well, basically was introduced to me by Michael Raptis. This junkie was introduced to me. And I talked to everybody. So I was at the Californian Cafe on Oxford Street and she started stalking me. She showed up at my partner John Cabino's restaurant and he went off his head. She showed up. Now, John Cabino, John, he should remember this because she showed up high off her head, a junkie. And he called me, he's like, that Stephanie is at my restaurant. Like the person that John kept saying, don't talk, when you get a coffee, don't talk to her, Justin. Ignore her. She's stalking you. Like John used to say, but like, so I'm like, oh no, she's a crazy fag hag. And John's like, no, she just showed up at your work. You don't know her. She's a junkie. Don't talk to her. Like, just ignore her. If you go get a coffee, don't be so polite to everybody because you talk to everybody, and that's just how I am. He's like, don't talk to her. Get your coffee, walk past her because she's always sitting out the front of that coffee shop on Oxford Street, the California Cafe. Say nothing to her. Just walk past her. She showed up at John. So I started doing this after July 2005. This Stephanie stalked my social media and saw what I had, okay? Like, let me tell you about all the situations that happened. And then we'll go back to my money because I really want reimbursement. There's 140,000 savings in my bank account there back in 2008 when I sold one of my properties. Now, Stephanie DeSalis, I met in late 2004. Okay, she did stalk me. We have never, ever been friends. The only photos taken was, camera phones were just around this time in late 2004, 2005. So if I walked past, and I did, and I was very friendly and let things go very easily in my 20s. Like a lot of people said, oh, Justin, you talk to strangers and people think that they're friends of yours because of how you communicate with people. I'm like, but it's also my job. I was a VIP host at Star Casino, so it's sort of my job as well. So walk past and she's like, oh, let's do do a selfie with me. So selfie with the phone and whatever. John Cabino said, like I've already made comments to several times in the past, don't have anything to do with her, so forth. She's bad news. You can't see her for what she is, but he can. She's stalking you with delusional fantasies, where I'm like, no, she's a crazy fag hag. I'm sure she's harmless. And I was like, no. And she was a junkie. She's a deadbeat low-life junkie whose brother, Peter DeSalis, apparently was in jail in Park Lee or somewhere for rape. Because that's how she came about. She actually contacted me to say, could I lend her $100,000 to help with a solicitor for her brother to get out of jail for rape? I'm like, what? Like, she was literally stalking my social media. And that's what she said. And then I said to everybody who she was contacting off my social media, I'm like, don't contact her back. We're not friends. She doesn't know me. And they're like, oh, but you've met her. I'm like, I've met her, but I've met a lot of people in my life. In a daily conversation, walking my dog, I will meet half a dozen people. And I could meet those half a dozen people again and again and again, especially if you're frequently in the same area or frequently in the same coffee shop. It doesn't mean you know each other. Okay, so I did tell everybody, don't contact her back. We've never been friends. And here's the timeline. Late 2004 into July 2005, I started avoiding her to stupidly have a fight with my partner, John Cabino, in 2006, the week of my sister's wedding, about Stephanie DeSalis. And he's like, oh, if you think she's harmless to you, then take her to your sister's wedding and see what Nan says. Like, I'm there going, oh, she's harmless. Like, you're making a bit, like, I thought John was making a big deal out of her because I just thought she's a bit of a crazy fag hag. I'm sure she's harmless and John's been a snob. No, John was right. So I did do that because John had a fight. I was like, I'll be fine. But you're not going to Amanda's wedding? It's her first marriage. I don't care. Like, seriously, I wasn't even going to go to Amanda's wedding because she was marrying Amy Thompson. So I wasn't even going to turn up for it. And I'm like, fine. So I did. Thought I was the big smart ass proving John wrong, except I proved him right. Because I was like, oh my God. And even people are like, who is she? Oh, I've never heard of this person. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't really know her. And like, where's John? Everyone's there like, where's your partner? Where's John? At Amanda's wedding. And I'm like, well, we had a fight and Stephanie's just chaperoning me to the wedding. Like, who's Stephanie? We've never heard of her. Like, this is what it was like at Amanda's wedding. And I'm like, well, I don't really know her. Like, seriously, because I didn't know her. She's a nut job. That's when she was told to fuck off. I was like, oh my God. She really has these delusional fantasies that I'm going to be with her. Like what John was saying. She's delusional. So she was told in 2006 to fuck off and never show her face again. Then I left John in 2008 and she must have been stalking social media because it was on social media. In late 2008, she showed up at my front door in Surrey Hills and said, I'm not going to wait forever for you to be like, to come out that you're straight or something for me. I'm like, I'm gay. I've always been gay. You've got delusional fantasies. Fuck off. And then she was like, I'm running away to Melbourne with some Steve guy. He owns railway trains. That's like, she's insane. I'm running to Melbourne. She owns railway trains and he's rich. He's going to give me everything that you can't. I'm like, because I'm gay. Like, she's just a junkie that's out to get money. Anyway, so back to me. Yeah. So this is why I told her. Then she shut up. So she was told to fuck off 2008. And then never heard of her again, as far as I knew, until she popped her head up in 2015. I was like, oh my God, she hasn't stopped stalking me. And police were told, and police wouldn't take a formal statement. I'm like, but she's stalking me. That's not a crime. Like, how is it not a crime? How is it not a crime that she's actually stalking me and other people and taking money? Apparently she took money off people for some fake birthday party. I'm like, there's no birthday party. It's staged. I mean, people are like, oh, your birthday party. I'm like, no, Stephanie DeSalis rang me in 2016 and said, oh, there's a surprise birthday party I'm doing for you, but I'm just letting you know. But so if anyone asks you, play dumb that you don't know about it. I'm like, what? And I started calling everyone going, Stephanie DeSalis, don't contact her back. We're not friends. So apparently people were giving her money for some fake birthday party that she was doing. I'm like, she doesn't know me. Can people stop contacting people? Stop using social media. Like, seriously, people, wake up to yourself. Social media is not a good reference to find information out about people. You know, you go to the person themselves and you say, are you friends with this person? That person says yes or no. Like, social media is not a reliable source. Stop. So, again, when I sold my investment property, 16 Scott Road, there's my bank account in 2008, one of them my bank accounts. 2007, where I've always done, so I've got all records of all my savings for years, which is why I had so much money. So I used to transfer money to account to another savings, 2007, 2008. I've got all this for evidence in court against police. 2006. There we go, 2006. 2009, 5th of February 2010, talking about when I paid off my mortgage. There you go, paid off my mortgage. 2009, savings of 80,000 in that bank. Back so I'm busy. 2008, savings. So I've been preparing all this to find a solicitor so I can, because this is what's been destroyed in the last 9 years, all my savings, assets and belongings. Baxter busy. So this is all him. I've always lift him up. Been preparing all this so I can find a good solicitor to take on New South Wales government. And sorry, my dog needs me to lift him around. Why did I have so much money? Like, this is ridiculous. It's like, why wouldn't I have so much money? I was on a salary package of $47,730 a year at Star Casino. I owned an investment property that I had rented out for most of the time. 16 Scott Road in Tamworth. So that actually covered the rent, covered the mortgage and everything on it. Had a good income coming in, and I was working side jobs where I did do labouring. And there we go. So we're talking about people. Even this is the thing. Even Chivani Consalvo is a fucking deadbeat loser with nothing. This is why I've kept this one. He reckons when he met me, he never knew how much money I had in the bank. Well, I came home one day because I always used to leave my paperwork sitting all over the dining table. And I came home from studying one day and he had written a note on, that's his handwriting, there. That's his handwriting on my bank statement. Now, my bank statement here, as you can see, the deposits, that came from my fixed term deposits and the sale of my investment property and so forth. You can see the dates. So 140,000 with that. The sale of the property in Tamworth, here we go. So I brought it for around 105,000. I sold it for 189,000. That's the sale of my property in Tamworth. All right. There's a clearer one. So this is what's all been damaged for some scumbags. Don't worry, I'm not going to back down. My mother was told, my whole family was fucking told that I'm getting lied about. Can you help? No, we're only going to help if you do it this way. No, I'm not doing it. Like Carol starts, there we go. Carol starts her bullshit in 2015. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. Giovanni's lying again, is he? Oh, here we go. Another one of my bank accounts with Giovanni's writing on it. So, bank account showing 120,000 in it, Giovanni's handwriting. So he reckons he never knew how much money I had in the bank. He always knew because my paperwork was always sitting out. That's Giovanni's handwriting on my bank statement that had over 120,000 in it. No, he knew. Yeah, he knew. He just wanted to... There we go. So I can back up what I'm saying. I'm not backing down from this. I expected both sides of my family to... You want to ruddy around me? Then do what I've specifically asked. I got lied about it in 2015. It's continued for 9 years. Do what I specifically asked, and that was I need a solicitor to correct this before this destroys everything. It's not greyhound therapy, you morons. You want to damage my life? Or all my savings from working hard at Star Casino. Not to mention when I worked for Jeff, you know, the Tough and Glass company, Hunters Hill, what was his last name? I've got it in my reference, probably somewhere. I knew him through John. It was my second job doing labouring. $25 an hour, you know, plus, and that's the thing, it's like, no, I'm not backing down, I'm sorry, but police have it wrong, detectives have it wrong, you might want to pull your head out of your millennial ass, guys. I'm not going to back down. You damaged everything I've worked hard for because you're lying little scumbags. So there's one of my bank statements. And what did I do? Oh, be a smartass to some organisations that harassed me. That's all I was doing. Being a smartass to some organisations that harassed me because of here's that. Oh, this is what got confusing in America. Because I added my name that I use for design and art on my birth certificate. So some of my documents, I wanted to have documents in that name and then change it back to my name's Justin Mark Fleming. But I've used Cesare Justinian Payne Marcus Philippe Simon Fleming. It's just an arty name that I've always wanted to use so I can actually sign my art, to keep art and design separate from who I am. You know how some people write books and they write them under an alias name, a different name? I would paint artwork and put it out under Sosine. Do different art name and so forth. That's all it was. And because I wanted to actually make sure that was legal, like as in a legal name, I just put it on my birth certificate. But then I've gone back. So my name is Justin Mark Fleming. And I'm not gonna explain that outside of a solicitor anymore. I'm sick of it. Oh, this is to do with my home loans. That's how, this is back in, was it 2004? Because this would actually be a good indication when I lived in Herbert Street. Okay, this is a statement from 2005. So, this is when I was living in St. Leonard's, Unit 6, 15 Herbert Street, St. Leonard's. Doing my home loan. No, I won't back down, and especially when it comes to the government department has it wrong. So, you're fucking idiots. So, I'm not backing down on this. This is all the stuff through my home loan. I've kept so many dates. So you owe me over 80,000 American first just in savings, but then you've got my assets and belongings. So I'm not backing down when it comes to the expensive furniture that I've had that was purchased from 2005 to 2008. So back when I was still working at Star Casino, because all my money was still there in savings and nothing was purchased after that time. All the mouth off people that want to lie about me doesn't match actual documents. But if I didn't get labelled as being mentally retarded or having a psychotic breakdown because I was acting, because I started playing a prank in some organisations, then that wouldn't have happened. Is that part salary? Here we go. Yes, this is proof of part salary payment when I was after I was mugged after work. That's my statement for May 2016. And part salary payment, January 2014. So and so forth. So I've always had the money. Giovanni didn't. On my tax for June, here we go. Can you see that? Tax for June ending in 2015. 41,000 because part salary payment. Tabcorp, my full salary $47,730 a year. Where is the one I'm looking at here? There's one document that I really want to show because there was a document to do with, even though I was off work, I'd have an income coming in as well. On some documents it says primary producer because I used to get a tax rebate from primary producer from mums like at one stage, and some accountants might not have removed it off, but it should be removed off years ago. That was only back many years ago I did that. It wouldn't have affected anything anyway for me. I wouldn't have got anything from that. So like I said, so there's no way I'm backing down. There's all the proof. Oh, it's my home loan again. I wanted to show home loan, transfer funds within Australia, transfer funds. So this all went in America. Idiots thought that it was from some bullshit undesirable behaviour, or that Giovanni told Mum in 2015 he's gone through all his money. No, I haven't. I just won't pay for Giovanni anymore. So I'm paying for Giovanni, I'm not paying for him anymore. Oh, and it was Giovanni that actually contacted Belinda Jeffries and Stephanie DeSalas. Isn't it funny how scummy, trash drug users all stick together? I mean, in life, you just got to deal with people. For an example, you get a haircut and treatment, and the person's some deadbeat, drug user. It's like, well, okay, I'm just paying for a service. You can ignore that, like Belinda Jeffries. But Giovanni Consalvo made these people dragged into his life even. Stephanie DeSalas. Stephanie DeSalas, Giovanni was told in 2008 when I met him about this psycho stalker and she showed up at my door and Jer was there and I went, Stephanie, I am gay. You know this, you delusional freak. This is Gio, my new boyfriend. Gio, Stephanie. So that's how that happened. I went, and then after she walked out, I was like, that's the person I told you about that stalked me and John. So Giovanni knew that Stephanie DeSalas was his stalker. He knew. And that's the thing. Why did he contact her? Do you know why? Because Giovanni was still doing his smoking of crystal meth every time I wasn't around and getting fisted. That's why. It's true. There we go. 29th of December, 2009, 80,000 that account. Transferred, here we go, October. And people think I was some criminal selling drugs and stuff. It's like, are you insane? I had an investment property and I was on a good salary at Star Casino and I worked 2 side jobs. Like, seriously. It wasn't hard. I should have had a lot more money than that. Like, there is so much proof that back it up. It's like, are you really a detective? Are you really a detective? Because it doesn't seem to me you know your ass from your elbow. There's actually from, where are we here? Is that PRD? Let me see. I just saw here. I've even still kept stuff to do with when I rented my place out in Tamworth. So here we go. 16 Scott Road. So that's the list of funds going into my account from my investment property as well. So, and then you want to add into the money you owe me from savings plus the loss of salary plus my furniture. So, for an example, the French wingback cigar chairs that were purchased in 2005, the Louis XIV style marble top commode that was purchased in 2005. You've also got the Edwardian solid mahogany cabinet that was purchased in 2006. These are expensive items. And here's the thing. This is why, America had it wrong, because when I changed my fucking name, and this is what pisses me off, my name's Justin Mark Fleming, and I changed it to Cesare Justinian Payne Marcus Philippe Sosine von Fleming to actually just add it in to a record, then go back to Justin Mark Fleming. That's why I did it. Because I wanted to be able to keep the names I've used as an artist name on a legal document somewhere. Now, this is where America is so dumb. So on one of my bank statements, that's what it was. There you go there. So when I was purchasing a place in America, they got a letter with, oh, hang on, is that him? Because the green card's in Justin Mark Fleming, and now we're getting, so how is this? I'm like, are you that dumb? There's my birth certificate. On my birth certificate's got my actual name, Justin Mark Fleming, my mother's Carol Ann Purdy, and my father's Mark Ann Fleming. My added to a name that I've added to who I am is my artist name. It's not that difficult, but then you've got people from Tamworth saying, no, his name was Rackley. It's like, no, it wasn't. Rackley's my stepfather. So can everyone shut up and listen to me? Because you've already cost me a lot of money in the last 9 years. So shut up. I'm the one that knows me, not you. And I'm trying to explain things because some idiots see, like America's immigration, see everything as being sinister. And there's the reason why. They thought I had someone else's money and card and so forth. Because they thought I had Cesare Justinian Payne Marcus Philippe Sosine von Flemings. I'm like, yeah, that's my art name. It's right there on my birth certificate. But my real name's Justin Mark Fleming. My real name's Justin Mark Fleming, and there's my art name. And I just wanted to make sure that my art name was on some formal document so I could always use it. Basically, I wanted to, when I was getting back into design work, wanted to register my art name, and so no one could ever use it. I could turn around and say, oh, it's my name. It's here registered. on birth, deaths, and marriages. That's why I did it. And do you know how insane that was viewed? It's like, why? Because it's Justinian is what the Latin spelling of Justin is, and I'm a Roman Catholic. Marcus is the Latin version. I've learned all this back when I was in Roman Catholic school. Justin Mark. My confirmation name is Peter, so it's Justin Mark Peter Fleming. So Justin Mark Peter Fleming is Justinian Marcus Payen. So I've just used the Latin versions of my name. Justinian Marcus Payen. Why is that a big deal? I learned it in Roman Catholic school. But you're making it into a big deal? Well, you're going to make it into an expensive deal for yourself, because I won't back down. I've done the hard work to have all the money and assets and belongings I had, and I've been scammed because people thought that, oh, something was sinister with me. And it's like, no, something's sinister with you. If you view everything as being sinister, then there's something wrong with you. And that's what these wankers were doing even in America. It's like, it's not that difficult. There's, here we go. So on the money that I was purchasing my place in America, because of me wanting to have my artist name on documents for when I registered a business name to sell art and so forth, and they started, immigration got, red flags and confused. I'm like, really? Really, are you backwards? Can I talk with someone from a city? Seriously? Can I speak with someone from a city that hasn't got a backwards view of life? That's what I wanted to do. It was like, oh my God. Okay, Justin Mark Fleming has a green card to America, but Justin Mark Fleming also has a name that he used that's legally allowed to be used, which is Cesare Justinian Marcus Philippe Zosson von Fleming. Okay? It's been there on legal documents, so I can legally use that name. So yes, I am Justin Mark Fleming. There is no such thing as Justin Rackley, because Rackley is my stepfather's name. And Cesare Justinian Marcus Philippe Zosson von Fleming is my, like a stage name. Basically, you can call it that, a stage name, if you want. And that is on legal documents that I can use as well. So is it that difficult? Are you that insane that you have to view everything as sinister, America? Because I will get every cent back and every asset, belonging, savings, items. And I've already told New South Wales Police several times about a group of people that were harassing me, looking into my life, what I had, and thinking that I was some type of character of a person I'm not, and then they thought they could steal from me. Stephanie DeSalis is one of those people. So, yeah. Oh, and you want to make up stories I was using drugs? Go ahead. Go right ahead. Because when I was put on the best acting scene I could possibly do, because I knew I was getting monitored and surveillanced, which I'm not a fool, because I was, I then was going to Dr. Baker and Professor Brew and everyone else and saying, do toxicology reports. And they're like, why? You don't use drugs? I'm like, yeah, but I'm acting. Where even Dr. Baker was like, stop doing it. Like, basically, you're making things worse, because people already think, the way they're thinking about you, and you're basically encouraging their thought process, and you're making it worse. I'm like, so it's compensatable in the end. Like, seriously, it's these are people that are idiots that think they're professional, and I'm just outsmarting them, basically. And that's what I was looking at. I'm going, well, they think they know everything, and I'm there just with basic acting skills from Screamwise in 2006, acting for film and television, and I'm playing a prank on them, and they believe in it. So why would I stop when it's hilarious? I'm just acting back at their stupidity. So why would I stop? Because they're the ones that are going to look stupid. I mean, this is going to blow open all these organisations, right? I mean, I'm going to be the person that changes everything and stops government-funded money to disability organisations, support networks, and so forth, right? So why would I stop when I'm deliberately doing this to prove that there's really something wrong here? Like what I said was the truth. I mean, here's the thing. Why would I stop when I've got my ex-partner, Giovanni, being a smart-ass cunt, causing trouble in my life, and this bastard's easily covering up from it because my mother couldn't do, like when my mother called me and she goes, oh, Giovanni said this in 2015. I said, that's bullshit, Carol. Here's a copy of my bank statement. I said, the only thing is I'm not living there at the moment for 6 months and I'm sick of Giovanni's behaviour. And then Mum goes, oh, if you still got all this money in the bank, why don't you buy a house here for Faith to live in? She did. And I'm like, are you insane? I've got a green card to America. I'll be buying a place in America and relocating once I finish what I've got to do in Sydney. That's where it started from. That's where this all started from. In 2015, Giovanni spreading bullshit lies. My mother, my twin sister Amanda, my deadbeat auntie Mary Mihowski, believing it, no one listened to me. And then I said to my mum, that's rubbish. Here's a copy of my bank statement. Look at how much money I've still in the bank. I haven't touched my savings. I pay my way, pay Giovanni's way, and I'm sick of it. So, no. And then Carol turns to me and says, oh, well, why don't you buy a house here for Faith to live in? I'm like, I'm not buying a house anywhere. I'm moving to the States. You know this. I've got a green card. So I'll be buying a house in America and living my life out in the States. You were told this. So I wouldn't be buying, and I would never buy a house in Australia anyway. Why would I buy a house in Australia? Like, the return for value of money is just ridiculous. There's not a quality of life in Australia. So no, I won't be buying in Australia. And besides the point, I've got a green card to America since 2014. Why would I do anything in Australia? I'm only here while I'm getting things closed off. As soon as things are closed off and I'm ready to move, I'll be relocating to America. This is where it all started from. This is where it all started from. The whole lot started from 2015, and then because I deliberately, instead of me just being up front and walking to police station saying, right, that organisation's harassing me and this is what's going on, I had to pretend that I was mentally, well, okay, yeah, fine, all right, fine. I pretended I was mentally retarded. Okay, fine. If you want to go down that path, but it started out with me first pretending that I was using drugs. Okay, because I was lied about in 2015. So how it started out was I was deliberately playing a prank on idiots from 2016 to 2018. And some of those idiots were police. Fine, I did. Okay, yes, I walked around Woolloomooloo knowing exactly where the Woolloomooloo security camera was and was like, oh, I'm so timid and scared about the people under the bridge. Oh, and faked. Okay, fine. I did do that, yes. But in my defense, I was originally starting to try to act that I was like trying to look like I was a drug user. So that way I could actually catch Stephanie DeSalis out. So basically when Stephanie DeSalis messaged me a quite abusive message across social media in 2015, I looked at the scumbags. So I'd already been lied about by Brett Aikenhead. That's where Stephanie DeSalis jumped into it. I then said to Giovanni, he knew back then, I said, oh, I'm going to catch her out this time. Because how can I go backwards to 2006 to police and say, look, because I'm not even speaking to John Cabino, and say, look, Stephanie DeSalis was told by myself and John Cabino back in 2006, if she keeps this stalking up, like I'm not friends with her, we'll call the police. And they're going to go, that was 2006. And where's John Cabino? I left him in 2008. Okay. So that's what I was thinking of. It's like, well, what I can do is I can try and catch her out. Like, I can do it that way. And that's what it was. So there was nothing that was true from 2016 to 2018. I've said that. And the whole thing like Mark Henner and so forth as well. Yeah, are you kidding me? Oh my God, I would never. He was a free prostitute to me. Someone that you just go and visit for sex. But then all those guys were. I'd become single. So like Brett Aikenhead, don't know. His friend who harassed me, Peter Fry, don't know the guy. He came up to me in 2016. I'm walking my dog around Ridge Oval side of Rush Coast Bay Park. He walks up to me and goes, oh, is this Brett's dog? I'm like, no, I purchased this dog from Brett back in April 2015. Got my paperwork. Like, are you someone else that stalks social media? And he goes, oh, you Brett's ex? I'm like, no, Brett was a fuck buddy fling. I don't know the guy. And then he's like, oh, I'm a good friend of Brett's. I'm like, oh, fuck this. I'm getting harassed by people that are friends of Brett Aikenhead's. Stephanie DeSalis popped her head up and was doing that same thing. She's like, oh, I know Spiro, who's a friend of Brett Aikenhead's. I'm like, I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care what some low-life scumbags lie about me across social media. I don't care. Because the facts are the facts. And if you ever get a good detective, they're going to rely on the facts and not social media. Social media is not facts. Social media is social media. Like, it's not a reliable source. I don't know what morons or people rely on social media, but I never look at social media. If I meet someone, look, if I ever have friends with someone or a relationship with someone, I hope they haven't got social media. Because I would be sitting back going, oh, can we not have that on social media? It's not a reliable source. I don't want my life out there on social media. I don't have social media whether it's friends or followers. If anything, I've got one social media account that has nobody on it, and I use it for an online storage because, well, there's no limit of storage. So I can put photos and folders and so forth, and I can use it as, it's online storage. But there's no friends or followers. It's like social media is, it's 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 an unreliable source. I don't know why people are so nuts that they rely on social media. It's like, well, I wouldn't rely on social media. I would rely on actual evidence. I don't see social media as being evidence. That's me. You want to know something about someone, you can ask them. There's a statement. You want information about me? Well, I can give it to you. Oh, how do you have so much money and assets? I can tell you that straight now, and it can be backed up with documents. And you're going to pay me that back. I love how these wankers of police and even detectives, it's like, you pay me back. I'm not backing down. I'll sue the state government for the damages. You pay me everything I worked hard for back plus loss of salary now. But he make money from getting mugged after work. So this is the other thing. Some low-life scumbags and people were like, oh, he got a massive, huge payout from that mugging. He would have been paid out millions. I'm like, I never got any payout. I was on part salary payment for 10 years. So all I ever got was part of my salary, and there's the proof. I didn't get a payout. It was part salary payment for 10 years. There's no payout. I already had my money before I was mugged. Simple fact, I already had all of my money, assets and belongings before I was mugged. So I'll keep sending the information into detectives. I'll keep sending it into the Law Enforcement Conduct Commission. I'll keep ringing solicitors because no, I won't be backing down. You've just cost me everything in the last 9 years. Well, I can even say since 2018. Like, why keep this going? You're damaging my life because of what? You're basing something on a theory? You're basing something on a theory, on an assumption, on, wait a minute, your own projection. That's what you've based all this on in the last 9 years. You didn't base anything from documents. That's a bit nuts. That's a bit delusional. Well, you think that you can base it on something that has no facts. Sorry, because I'm looking at how shiny my face is. Yeah, Vaseline. I've got Vaseline for my hair, my beard at the moment, to like a Vaseline treatment, to keep it nice and shiny and dark. Vaseline is what I use. So yeah, there was a photo Facebook post in 2017 while I was talking about Facebook, and I was invited to a wedding that I didn't really want to go to. It was Sam Delati's cousin, Gaynor. I can't think of Gaynor's, not Gaynor, sorry, Gaetana. I can't think of Gaetana's last name. Anyway, if I didn't actually run into Gaetana on the Central Coast, I wouldn't have been invited to the wedding. Do you understand? So I'm thinking, I feel really uncomfortable. As much as I liked Gaetana, last time I saw her was I invited, and I like her, but I invited her to my Christmas party in 2008. And I don't really want to sort of show up at this wedding. And, you know, I would have liked to have a coffee with her and catch up first. Anyway, Gio, my ex, said, oh, I'm not going to the wedding. Ask Mark Hanna to go with you. Like, real smart assy. I'm like, I'm not asking that free prostitute. Because the guy was just sex for me. Fuck Buddy Flynn. Anyway, he overheard. So he's like, I'll come to the wedding. I'm like, oh, God. So driving to the wedding, I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, I don't want to go. I really don't want to go to this wedding. So I turned off the highway. And was like, oh, Mark, we're lost. We weren't lost. I knew exactly where we were. I was just like, so Mark's messaging from my phone. You got to stop letting people use my phone. I don't anymore. Messaging from my phone. We'll be there in 5 minutes. Because I kept saying to Mark, oh, yeah, no, we're going to be there in like 5 minutes. It's up the roads, other roads. I'm being a smart going. So I'm posting all these fantastic Facebook funny quotes. Like, my car's driving up the side of a cliff. Oh, we're lost and all this stuff. I wasn't lost. I knew exactly where I was because I turned off the highway and I turned back on the highway, knowing exactly where I was. And then Stephanie Salas jumps on social media. She goes, oh, I know why this was. It's because I know because she's a junkie. She's an ice junkie. She's like, oh, your face was shiny. You've been using drugs. I'm like, no, I was wearing bronzer actually to the wedding. It's like, no, bronzer and shimmer. It's like, I don't use drugs. It's like, here we go with this group of people. And this is the problem with Stephanie Salas again. So, yeah, what we can do is, and I'm going to email all the documents into the detective. What we're going to do is we're going to stick with facts, not what people make up in their heads. So if you look at someone and you go, oh, they're using drugs, they're high, and not look at medical history of the fact that there's other underlying conditions that they have, which may make them look a certain way that they're not, and the blood and urine results check out that they don't use drugs or alcohol, you're going to go off those facts. So I've already sent them to a detective, Lucy. So I've sent all those blood letters from my doctors plus every blood and urine result. Now, I'll also tell Lucy that when that Belinda Jeffries started getting involved as well, I did deliberately put on a massive big prank. Of course I did. Do you think I'm an idiot that after I get lied about in 2015, I didn't know I was getting monitored by groups and organisations? And this Belinda, who's only my hairdresser, thought she could involve herself. And I had a gut full of this, and I thought, okay, you know some criminals like the guy that you buy drugs from, Ush, so you might want to watch your step. So as per Lucy Alcock, the detective there in Bondi, you want a statement from me? Sure. I would tell you that, I deliberately acted like I was mentally retarded, especially what I did in front of Mark Henry and IGA. That was deliberately done. Sorry, it backfired on me too, and I'm sorry I confused you guys, and I kept going with it, but IGA was fake. IGA down near Picton, when I was down visiting my Aunt Linda and Uncle Tony, that was fake. I had to keep playing the role to try and catch Mark Henner out. Look, I'm sorry I did that. It wasn't real. The same as Audi wasn't real and Coles wasn't real. And it was done deliberately. And if you want to look at some of my acting roles back in 2007 or 2006, I'm happy to. But I deliberately did that because why? I was lied about in 2015. And after I was lied about, I had groups and organisations harassing me, and I wanted to prove that. From those groups and organisations harassing me and rallying around friends and family, I had people that were not like-minded to me and people that I would never have anything more than a brief person who's passed through my life. So somebody that actually, for example, a hairdresser, okay? And let me tell you why I'll put up with that. I've always had really long hair. And sometimes hairdressers cut it very feminine. And I'm not a female. I'm a male with way too much Vaseline in my hair right now. I put a Vaseline treatment in and a tune-in shampoo to get rid of some damages. Anyway, so there. So my hair is really in leave-in condition. I've got everything in it at the moment, so it's not looking the best. I go out, I put a tune-in shampoo in, this German shampoo that is supposed to make your hair look richer and darker, which it is, but I think that's more the Vaseline that's in there at the moment as well, and the leave-in conditioner, because it's actually, oh, well, no, it's not. It just looks darker from a distance. You can still see the natural highlights for it. Anyway, so having long hair, when you get some people that cut long hair, they cut it and it looks too feminine. It's like, I'm a male. Can you cut it with this type of layers in it? My hair is something that needs a lot of layers, so it sits nice. So why would I put up with someone? It's like, well, when you find a good hairdresser, it's like, well, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, I got a good haircut and a good treatment. But when you want to turn around and say, so why did you deliberately play a prank on people from 2016 and 2018? Well, why lie about me in 2015? If the legal system works better in Australia, I wouldn't have to have done that. Because I was lied about in 2015, I turned around and said, can I get a solicitor? If this was America, I would get a solicitor, go to an attorney straight away, have it in court, have it corrected, and it'll be done with. But why did you lie about me? And there's no way I could resolve this with the Australian legal system, because you can't just walk into a solicitor in Australia and say, can I get this resolved, this defamation? It's like, oh, we don't really handle defamation. And what we do workers' comp. It's like, sorry, I need in America, that's handled defamation. I need a solicitor for defamation. It's like, well, the only way I can think of fixing this if I can't get a solicitor is I'm going to have to play a prank on these people, catch them out for breaking the law. So we've got privacy laws, we've got confidentiality, we've got pride laws, we've got stalking and harassment. There's something I can get these people for. And that's why I did it. So walking around Woolloomooloo and pretending to cry. Don't worry, I could do it right now in a job if I had. I learned from when I was at Screenwise. I shake with my left hand because it's close to the heart. Yeah, that's all fake. That was fake. Walking up Cathedral Street, turning right onto Forbes Street, being, I'm afraid of these people under the bridge. The security camera's right there. I was doing it deliberately because there's a police security camera right there. That's why I did it. And then walked up Forbes Street, turned right into the garage where I lived. There's a garden area. I sat out in the garage, and a social worker came down within a minute to see if I was fine. And I was like, okay, there we go. Still monitored. So I did that to prove the monitoring. There was other things that I didn't do, but I found out that someone tried to drop me a roofie. Yeah, well, not tried to, did drop me a roofie back in 2016 and 2017. Two people, Peter Fry and Mark Hanna. And so that made me look a bit weird. But everything else was, it was done deliberately. Well, you think I'm a fool that I didn't know I was getting monitored. Oh, God, this is hilarious. Yeah, I did. So everything I did, like walking into a meeting with Daniel Curran and Eva Lviv, and I'm so timid. Oh, yeah, I'm so timid and afraid. And okay, and what? I can't read that CT guided. Yeah, but that wasn't real. That wasn't real, man. Yeah, seriously, that was acting. The whole thing was acting. The whole lot. Oh, wait. Catching Giovanni Consalvo out when he was with his ridiculous friend Gaino, who calls herself Alice. So as soon as I saw them come in, I'm getting Immunoglobulin, I'm like, oh, well, I don't remember her. Who's that person? Oh, of course I remember fucking Eva Lviv from after I seroconverted in 2010, and she started wanting to talk to me about bullshit. I'm like, no thanks. Thanks very much. I'm not some friggin' closet case gay. You can piss off. I don't need your friggin' services type thing. She comes through and I'm there going, I don't remember. Is it Eva? Acting. Hey, you wanted to play you started your games with me, so it was tit for tat. Basically, what do you think I'm going to do? Is sit back and let you play your bullshit games? Or I'm going to turn around and go, I'm going to fuck you people over like you wouldn't believe. What type of character have I always been? Huh? Tit for tat. What do you think? I was going to sit back after being lied about in 2015? No fucking way. And you think that I care? I loved my furniture so much. I mean, those expensive pieces of furniture that were purchased at the auction house at Lawson's in Glebe down near the roundabout, you would never find that beautiful solid mahogany cabinet. It's not painted mahogany, it's solid mahogany. It's worth about $5,000. I gave it away because you're going to reimburse me the damage of it. Yeah, you see, I'm not an idiot. If I had have sold it, then that would have been in court, but you've already received damages for that because you sold it. Well, I didn't sell it. What I'm saying is I was given no choice because your lies about me in Australia was projected in America, so I was given no choice but to give my expensive assets and belongings away because I couldn't sell them at the time. It was during COVID. So they were given away. I had no choice. The government, gave me no choice but to give away my expensive assets and belongings. So the government, can pay me back exactly what they're worth, which means a pair of French wingback chairs from the 1940s. They were purchased in 2005 at Rafa and Keller, which was near Booth Street there in Leichhardt. Expensive. Actually, there was two I've seen similar that was sold for around about $1,200 in Miami. Yeah, you can pay me that. You can pay me the price of what the solid mahogany Edwardian 1910 buffet, the buffet hutch type thing with the glass cabinet, the china cabinet or bookshelf it's called. That's from the UK. It's about $5,000. You can pay me what the Louis XIV style marble top commode is worth. It's from the 1880s. Do you think I'm a fool, people? I played you. You're an idiot. I played all of you because you are so stupid to lie about the wrong person. I'm standing back going, we don't have a good legal system in Australia. What can I do? Oh, you watch me destroy you people. You watch me destroy you, and now I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping. I will go to every organisation there is, every law enforcement conduct commission, and turn around and say, but that was acting, and why don't you go and have a look at the little monologues I did for acting for film and television at Screenwise in 2006, because some of the acting I was doing was from those monologues. Or wait, the film from 2007. go and have a look at some of my script roles in that, because that was used as well. I played you dickheads. Do you think I'm going to stand back and be lied about? I'm not going to. That's not the character of person I am. And do you think I'm a weak character of a person that seriously is so fucking timid that I'm afraid of people? Are you insane? You fucking morons. Seriously, but it was the best performance, thank you very much, that I've ever played. And that went from 2016 to 2018. You wanted to lie about me and harass my life. Well, you know what I wanted? I asked for a solicitor in 2015 to put a stop to it. I asked for a solicitor again in 2016 to put a stop to it. Didn't happen. I was like, well, I can't find a solicitor. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to get something on all these people. And you're fucked. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. 2016, when Mark Henner went to Belinda Jeffries' place. I killed two birds with one stone there. Getting Mark Henner with Belinda Jeffries. That was acting. So now we have Mark Henner with Belinda Jeffries and Ocean, his runner. And I've got the date down as well. Because, oh yeah, by the way, I was making diary notes of all this while I was doing it. So I'm getting up of a morning. I was like, work. Getting up of a morning. Then, you know, walking around, really fucking over these social workers in public. And going back, pissing myself laughing at the idiots. And then making diary notes of it, like in here, where I've got a diary note. Right? Okay, remember to tell the detectives to investigate with Belinda Jeffries and Ush for Friday the 30th of September 2016 and Friday the 20th of May 2016. You know, yeah. Man, do I really look like somebody that is that much of a timid pushover? Oh, too bad, so sad. You got punked. Idiots. Yeah, big time. Big time. And what? You keep doing this because... Okay, here's the other thing as well. Let me just stand up and say, oh, but you could have told people. I did. Do you know what my mother, Carol Purdy, said? She goes, oh, Justin, let it go. You've got your money, you've got your assets still, you've got everything you worked hard for. You've got your green card to America. I thought you were moving to America. Why are you wasting time with these people and trying to get them back? Just go and live your life. So I did. I thought, oh, you're right. What's the point? These people are fucking wankers in Australia. They're not even friends of mine. They're just mere acquaintances that pass through my life. Deadbeat losers. And like Mom said, like, you know, well, you've got your green card. You're sitting on a green card to America going, like, wow. You're sitting on a fucking green card to America. Go live your life. Just go and move, buy a house, live your life in America and forget about these people. So I did. So I did what Mum said. Like Carol, like she said, she goes, just go, you know, move on, let it go. I was like, all right. Yeah, fuck it. They're dickheads. They'll get their karma. So I did, you know, brought a place, so the sale of my, you know, money from the sale of my place in 16 Scott Road. Used that to buy a place in America, move my belongings over. Had all my assets and belongings still from, you know, when I was at Star Casino. Set it up. And then what happened? The same troublemakers in Australia cause trouble in America. It's like, well, you fucking lowlife pieces of shit. And I'm like, okay, I did it this way. I already did let go and move on. And I've got being lied about again. I've got this bullshit of spreading of information. I've got everything that's just gone on that I've said in Australia. I need a solicitor to put a stop to this now. Even if it's to do with workers' comp. I was mugged November 30th, 2007 after work. Here's my injuries. Don't lie about me. Don't defame me. Don't slander me. I'm not putting up with it. So the same shit happened in America. I spoke to an attorney in Hartford, Connecticut, said, I've just put up with this in Australia since 2015. I'm not going to put up with it in America where I've held a green card since 2014. He said, look, unfortunately, we don't have jurisdiction to act for you in America. This is something that's going on in Australia that's causing trouble in America. And he said, I completely understand, but we can't arrest these people until they land in America. So if that Stephanie DeSalis lands in America, we can arrest her. But we can't do anything until they're in America, physically. And I was like, all right, I'll have to go back to Australia. This is what pissed me off. I let go and moved on like Carol said. And what happened? Here it's still going on in America. So I sold my condo, gave away my belongings because you gave me no choice to do that. Came back to Australia to fight this. So no, there's no letting go and moving on now Yeah, I did that. I did it. You guys had your chance. No, there's no letting go and moving on now. This is only me fighting, and I don't care what government departments I've got to email, what law enforcement commissions I have to email, what detectives I have to email. I'm not backing down. You've cost me damage of 9 years, including savings, assets, belongings, and my credibility. You've tarnished my reputation because you're little scummy pieces of shit people. No way will I back down from this. There's no fucking way in hell I will back down. Ever. This goes to court, and you can stop lying about me. I've still put up with the same shit in the last 2 years since I've been back. So I didn't come back for this. You're paying me what I deserve, my money and assets and belongings. You're paying me. You're going to go and you're going to legally restore my credibility, and you're going to stop this bullshit that you've just put into my life since I was lied about in 2015.